Fort Ferrum is one of a number of forts that was built in Gosport after recommendation by the Royal Commissions back in 1859. Its work was completed in 1864 and is now a protected area. Now let's start today's explore by showing you the woodland what surrounds this fort and some of the nature what lives in this protected area. This is a common field mouse. They normally thrive in woodland and grasslands, and they've been known in the autumn to store their food in underground burrows or sometimes old birds' nests. Their diet can consist of seeds, snails, insects, fruit, berries, nuts,
these nuts,
or even fungi. This is one of the disused parts of Fort Ferrum. It's towards the rear of the fort, as most of the fort has now been converted into an industrial estate and used for large factory units. This section of the fort has mostly been bricked off and inaccessible. However, let's take you to some of the other sections of this old fort, as this protected woodland what this fort is located in is absolutely packed full of wildlife. One of its habitants is known as the very common European garden spider. These webs are made by a European garden spider, or more commonly known as the cross spider. The cross spider will spin a large complex web up to 40 centimeters in diameter, just used to capture insects and prey. The webs are normally built by large female spiders. Now let's show you inside one of these gun ports.
So guys, just got inside this little area of the fort here. Now, you can see Pat squeezing through the hole. And again, this would have been just another little area where they would have originally had a cannon in here. Can't see any signs of an old rail in here, but they would have had one here. And you can see on the roof we've got these large anchors to anchor the cannon in, and the ventilation pipe just here, if I pan you up, now that would have been used for the ventilation.
As soon as we had left this gun port, we couldn't help but notice the sheer amount of blue tits what were in this area.
Did somebody say blue tits?
This species of bird is also known as the Eurasian blue tit. It's most common in woodland, hedgerows, parks and gardens, and it's easily recognisable by the blue and yellow plumage and its very small size. Now let's take you over to some of the old tunnel areas what are still accessible in this old fort.
So guys, we're just on top of Fort Ferrum at the moment. Now this is just one section what's here. Now, if I pan you up, look at this hole. Can't honestly tell you what that hole is for up there, other than some sort of ventilation. I've got an old fireplace in the wall over here, and just behind me we have a large sort of gun port area. Now we will get round and we'll show you the outside of this, but on the floor again, same again as our last fort explore, you would have seen these rails with the cannon rails on the floor. Now, probably going to be seeing a lot of these in these forts, and the large chains what would have been tied onto the roof just to support the cannons when they fire out of this gun port. Now you can see we're actually out in the thick woodland today. But many years ago, it wouldn't have been quite so overgrown here. Now, let's press on and let's see what else is around this old fort, other than a lot of rubbish sprayed on the walls. Quite nice with the sun out, isn't it? Some primrose flowers down there. Actually, you can't pick primroses, they are protected. Now we come to this little part of the building. Doesn't look like you can get in there, that's a bricked off wall. But let's go up and let's have a look around this woodland area and see if you can get in this other side.
Just as we were exploring this area, guys, we bumped into a group of teenagers who were really helpful and who offered actually to show us around some of the areas what we hadn't yet found of this old abandoned fort.
Oh, mate.
Cheers buddy, thank you very much. Show you out of one of these gun ports. The view, so you can see how raised up we are. Now, this wall here, this part of the section of the wall just here, just what Pat's walking behind, you can see why it sticks out over that part there. Now this wall, this would have been called a ricochet wall. So therefore, if anyone was coming in from behind, they wouldn't have been able to actually pick you off inside the bunker. And this would have actually had the bullets, what would have hit this wall to protect your back. Now this would have been called a ricochet wall.
Now let's make our way over to what's known as the sniper's nest of Fort Ferrum, along with the abandoned rooftop skate park. So guys, as you can see, this is what's known as the sniper's nest. It's located on the top of Fort Ferrum and looks out over most of what's left of this old fortress. Now let's get up and show you on the roof. And as you can see, half of this fort has now been converted into factories and an industrial estate.
So guys, this is the roof of the sniper's nest.
Now just to the left of the sniper's nest is this old rooftop area. Now this rooftop area is what's known as the abandoned rooftop skate park. Now as you can see, some of the layout in this area, it looks like really quite a fun place to skate. Now I just want to give a massive thanks and a huge shout out to Oscar and all his mates for giving us such an awesome tour around this old fortress. Now I can't actually put your links in the description due to your age, however If you want to put a comment in and tell us what channel's yours in the comments, and any of you guys watching, if you enjoyed this episode, if you enjoyed the explore, then make sure you go and check out those guys' YouTube channels in the comments below. But once again, thanks to Oscar, all your mates, absolutely awesome, man. Thank you very much.
Right guys, thanks for watching. That's about it of this Fort Explore today. Now I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, if you haven't already, make sure you smash that subscribe button and you ring that bell so you can be notified as soon as we upload a new video. But that's about it for this adventure. Thanks very much to all these guys in the background. Absolute legends for showing us around. But we'll catch you guys on the next adventure. Bye guys.
Bye.
Bye.